What was the first real leadership role you took, and how did that come about?
When I arrived to Chile in 1991, I started working in the Ministry of Economy. I was a low-level professional at that time, just an advisor. But the minister and the under minister also were very convinced. We formed a very strong team. And I think that made a difference, because after that, I was offered to head the Comisión Nacional de Medio Ambiente, the Environmental Commission, and I had access to other positions in government.
And then you still continued growing the ranks in the government, and you even became a minister. How was that experience, and what can we learn from your experience as a minister?
Well, it was great, and it was a lot of fun, because being the Minister of Defense is something different from being a minister in any other areas. But I think that the most interesting things about this is I didn't know anything about defense, anything. So I told Michelle Bachelet, this is not my area. And she said, no, what I need is someone that has the strength to work with the militaries without looking weak or letting them to do as they wish. One of the things that I learned was something that my father and my grandfather were very keen on, which is you have to have a very clear goal of what you have or want to do, and then to be very disciplined. And, military work is discipline, is to have a clear understanding of the objectives, which is something that sometimes in companies, in the economic sector, is not very clear, and which is something that affects a lot the work of boards and executives, because the goals are not totally clear.
So let me switch gears to your participation in the private sector. How did it come about?
Well, the first time was I was called because they were looking for a director to represent the AFPs in Colbún. I was the first woman in the board, but Colbún is a company that since many years ago is a very, in a way, a company managed with a very progressive thinking. So more than most of the private companies in Chile. So it wasn't difficult.
And if you look back at the Colbún experience, what was the most rewarding part and the most challenging part of becoming a board member?
I think that the most rewarding part was the fact that when I arrived there, all aspects of sustainability and relationship with communities was something that was starting in Chile. Very little has been done before. Few companies had any conscience of the necessity to work in a more structured way in those fields. So I arrived to a company in which I thought I could make a contribution, particularly since I was an energy specialist, but I had also worked a lot in environment. I don't remember anything that could have been a problem for me in Colbún, in the Colbún. So but I had been in other boards in which the most difficult thing, I think, has been to realize that in some boards there is a lot of resistance to introduce new subjects, new aspects in the discussion of the board. And I think that's something that it still continues in some companies, but has been changing. But if I was to mention something that makes life a little bit different as a female director, I will say that companies that have a very strong tradition and conservative tradition, not towards women, but towards new ways of looking at the companies, those are the most difficult.